Okay, so over here we have a box and whiskers diagram or a box plot diagram, and on this first row over here we have the values that go from 0 to 100. These are the scores for 50 students. And in the test, that's worth 100 points. So as you continue here, in the box and whisker diagrams, there are 5 main things that it always will show you, and those are the minimum value, the min, the maximum value, the max, Q1, Q3, and the median. And with these two values, we can calculate the IQR, which is the interquartile range. So what we want to see over here in the box and whiskers diagram, the first line indicates the minimum value. So this would be the min. The last line over here indicates the maximum value. So we know that all the values for the scores of all our 50 students will be in this range. So now how do we find the minimum and the maximum value? All we do is look to which value of this line with the scores corresponds to. So the minimum was 30, so the minimum is equal to 30. Then we do the same for the maximum. The maximum, as we can see here, if we connect this line, it's equal to 90. The same thing with the minimum. So here we would have this is equal to 90, so the maximum is equal to 90. Now Q1, so it's called a box and whiskers diagram because it has a box in the middle. And what does this box represent? So this first line over here represents Q1, which is 25% of the values. So this line corresponds to exactly 25% of the values. So and this box, it closes off in Q3, which is this line over here, which will be the 75th percentile of all the values, so the 25th and the 75th percentile of all the values. And always in between the Q1 and the Q3, we have the median value, which would in fact correspond to 50% of the values because it's the one in the middle. So what can we deduce from this? So we do the same thing we did to find the maximum and the maximum values. So Q1 would be equal to 40. We're just going to write this down over here. Q3 would be equal to 70. And the median value would be equal to 60. Now, the IQR, it's the interquartile range, so the range between the two quartiles that we have. So IQR, I'm just going to do it over here on the side. It's equal to Q3 minus Q1. So our IQR for this data set would be 70, so Q3, minus 40, which is Q1, which would be equal to 30. So our IQR value would be equal to 30 over here. And that's how you find all the 5 values. And another thing that we can see here as well would be the range. So the range is the distance between the maximum and the minimum. So I'm just going to use R for range over here. It's equal to the max minus the min, which is maximum minus the minimum. So the range would be equal to our maximum value, 90, minus 30, which is our minimum value over here, which would be equal to 60. I'm just going to circle around all our values over here so it's just a little bit clearer, because it was a little messy. Our range over here. There we go. That's how you find all the 5 values that are shown on the box plot plus the IQR and the range.